Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. We're here today for Tuesday 10, which is where I take 10 things out of a basket of things that I've kept from my stash of papers and random things, and we're going to use them. We're going to keep crafting till we use them, and today is the Halloween edition of this. So today's 10 things, I have this October Victorian calendar page that has all sorts of Victorian era Halloween bits and bobs around the edge. I have, this is a cutout of some paper dolls from, I can't remember. I want to maybe say it could be Horth Creations on Etsy, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm just going to not bother. This is a scrap of some stitched fabric paper that I made my spine for one of my journals out of, and I'm going to be making another journal, and the cover is going to be made out of this material, but this one is just the leftover from one that I've made, so we'll do something with that today. And this is a book page from like some Snow White book, and this has got some real alchemy kind of cool stuff going on at the bottom here. This is actually from the paper dolls that I made of my children from some time ago. My daughter dressed as a little gnome kid, but she had her Batwing costume on her that I made her. She wanted to be a bat one year, and this is from a few years ago, so we might restyle that up and make it into something Halloween-y. This is some tissue paper that has these orangey bronze dots on them. And then this is from an old Halloween coloring book with these pumpkins. It's got a word search on the back. So cute. Oh, and another Victorian Halloween calendar page. This is a page from a book that I'll be using for journal making. It's called Winnie the Witch, and it's got some fun witchy kind of stuff on it. And this is from another children's book called Scary Scary Halloween, and these are illustrations by Jan Brett. So let's get into this and see what we're going to do here. So this is just a piece of paper with a blank back on it. I'm trying to think of the best thing to do with it. I'm kind of feeling like it would be a nice like envelope, you know, like we just kind of give it a fold and then another fold sort of there. Yeah, like that. Okay, I'll put the straight side on top because that'll be neater. Yeah, that'll be very cute as an envelope, I think. So then let's just go in here and we'll trim it down first. I need my scissors here. So I hope you are all doing well. I'm doing good. I have had like a few busy weeks. I think you know that because I've been a little less on YouTube than normal. It's summer and I have lots going on, and summer's kind of wrapping up, so there's lots to do at the end of summer when you're trying to plan for kids to head back to school and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, my son has graduated from his JK program that just ran. It ran over summer. It's it's on a different schedule than standard school, and that was a lot of fun. Yesterday we had a really nice day with my folks. We went and spent the day at the park, and kids went in the splash pad and had a nice picnic. And we stopped in a nearby local city called Whitby for a little break on the drive home. And we went to this really great restaurant. It's at a golf club. It's called Ted Reader's The Joint, and it's like a barbecue, the Joint barbecue, and oh man, it was so good. We had there was a pizza for the kids, and the pizza's like nice wood-fired pizza, really yummy crust, really great sauce they make themselves. This guy that owns it is like some kind of a barbecue guru too, so they make this thing. It's a big calzone, and you know, I'm certainly not really into like, you know, pot culture or anything, but it's all legal here in Canada. So, you know, for those who appreciate it, they may partake. So they have this thing though, and it's like a great big long calzone, and it's called the Joint Fatty. So it's a big long calzone that's like as long as, you know, my screen. It's quite long. And so my husband and I, we shared that because it was big. And so it's stuffed. So it's a beautiful crust. And it's got like cuts in it that are filled with like amazing garlic butter. And it's got inside of it like a garlic buttery kind of sauce, beautiful caramelized onions, and slow smoked brisket that just melts in your mouth. It is so good. And peppers and cheese and like, oh, it was just amazing. And then on the end, there's like this sour cream, and they actually dip it in like, I've never had them before, but like hot Cheeto, like ground up, like the dust that, you know, you can make from grinding up Cheetos as like a bit of a spicy kick on the end. Oh my goodness, it was so good. Yeah, so I highly recommend that restaurant. It's amazing. Okay, that's really cute. Yay. Now, do I have, so I've got some fun words here from Priscilla, the Release the Craftin', and we'll see if we can't put like a label there that would be fun. Let me see. Oh, there's so many good ones. The Call of October, good things, things that go boo. Ghosts gather here, that could be fun. I think I'm going to go with that one, just because it is very fun for this. I love having Halloween words. If you're looking for Halloween themed digitals, I cannot recommend highly enough Release the Craftin'. I would say they're the OG of Halloween and witchy kind of digital art for the junk journal space, and always really great kits. So if you've been here for a while, you've probably seen me make some pretty epic journals from their kits. So highly recommend. Okay. For a little more. There we go. Ghosts gather here. Okay, so that's a fun and simple little coin envelope, right? Very cute. Now, let's move on. We use this Winnie the Witch. This is really cute. And you know, I feel like the beauty of these kind of children's books is like the work is sort of done for you, that you don't have to do a lot of collaging or anything, because, you know, it's been illustrated, right? Already. I just want to look at this and see if there's any good words, like words or verses. Not necessarily. I think that one's okay. Then I think we'll try to get our kitty cat in here. Probably about there. Just going to tear this down to a size to make a journal card. There we go. So I'm doing a project today with my family. We're cleaning out all of our closets. Sounds fun, right? Yeah, I want to get rid of a bunch of clothes. Like, you know, as the seasons change, I tend to want to like swap out the kids, like their closet, to have just that season's clothing, so I'm not like digging through winter in the summer and summer in the winter and that kind of thing. So we're kind of getting started a bit on that, and I want to donate a good amount of my own clothing. I'm trying to downsize. I just really am feeling a lot like I just need less stuff, and so that's what we're working on. So my husband's getting a start with the kids while I take a bit of time to myself after yesterday being kind of a long day. I'm trying to fit in, you know, work and YouTube and making for the shop. I've just been doing a ton of stuff around the house, and I have a lot more to do, and then we're taking a little vacation. So yeah, I think things will kind of normalize again here on the channel, probably like late September, maybe a little sooner, depending on how everything goes, but I won't make promises. I'll be here. You know, I'm always doing a little something. I'll always have probably a video during a week, if not more than one. But we'll see how it all goes. I may be coming up with a new schedule too, like for the channel, so that I schedule videos, because I don't think I'll be able to do every day these days. I'm going to be probably working on some different things, like changes in my life and stuff. So, you know, it's an infinite balance, but I'll always be here and yeah, making these videos, because they're all a part of the making process. So this stuff, what I was thinking with these, like I wanted to try to sort of cut out sensible snippets, right? Like, and then use them for things like pockets and collaging on tags and stuff like that. So we have 2 of those pages. And I would also really love to use these to make maybe tags with these bits and bobs on them. So I think I'll probably have to back whatever I do to make it a little thicker to kind of be supported on the fabric tag. So the other thing I want to do with this maybe is make some tabs for journals, because those would make really great tabs. So I don't know, I might mostly make tabs because they are double-sided and I don't want to waste that that lovely fabric. Though I could also make booklets too, and we could do like a thing on the front and then just put like some papers inside. Oh, it's hard. All right, let's work on this piece of fabric and try to figure it out first. So where are my fabric scissors? I think I just saw them. There they are. So what if we decided that because this is the shabby end, we would just cut a little off the excess here, put that in scraps. Then that can be the edge that we do tabs with. Then we could make some little booklets. I'd probably make them like tall and skinny. That'd be kind of fun. So let's start with this as the height. I'm just gonna go straight as I can. Pretty good, pretty good. Just get a little off this edge actually. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And then I'll fold it in half. And then we'll cut down that fold. And then we'll fold it in half again. So it's like tall. And that'll be 1 and 2. Like making a little mini journals, sort of. Then this, let's go tabs on all of this. So we'll just cut down the middle here. Okay. Just gonna cut them into tab shapes. And how will we use these? Like this, right? You just fold them. Let's say this is your journal page. That's your tab. So now we have a bunch of Halloween themed tabs, which are perfect because I'm making Halloween journals and I want to have nice colorful tabs for them. Yeah, that's good. Okay, whole stack of tabs. So now we need papers and an embellishment to go on the front of this. So let's get 2 focal points. We'll cut them out of the calendar, the first calendar page. So maybe the first focal point might be, it needs to be a little thin because they're tall, skinny journals. Maybe this Happy Halloween, maybe this right here with the pumpkin and the hearts. So let's just kind of come up, cut this out. Just like that, okay? And then we will glue it on here to make it thicker. This is actually some scrap watercolor paper that I found. I pulled out a whole bunch of papers from something the other day, like what is in this box, and it was just all random papers. So now we can cut this out a little neater. Okay. I think it'll go cute on here. Yes, I like that. And I'm actually thinking I might stitch it on. We'll see. I'll put it on with a bit of Fabri-Tac for now. And then I will see if I feel like it needs stitching. Going to line it up kind of with those stitches that are right beside it. Okay, and then this one, let's think about what we want to put on this one. Maybe this little cluster of little Halloween, different themes, different things. There's also those two little paper dolls here up in this side. That's really cute. Yeah, I might fussy cut those out. So we'll cut these out next here. And I'm just going to cut the top one out too, because I might use that for something else. Inevitably, I'm going to have a lot of little fussy cut things that I'll have to cut around, I think. But let's glue this down first. Sort of wondering what the weather's going to be like today. It was quite warm yesterday, nice and hot enough for the kids to go in the splash pad. I am hoping for like a cooler day because I'm just really wanting fall. Just like fall. Which I think is why I've gotten into the Halloween attack that I've started already. But I think also in order to be kind of ready to have some Halloween journals for the Halloween season, I need to get started now, because for those of you who know, you know that they don't take a couple minutes, they take a while to make. So we need some prep time. Okay, so that's a cute little bit. Then do I want to put it on something, maybe like a piece of just plain black fabric or something? Or I've got this little what do I have in here? A little bit of purple. What if we just set them on that and then put them on top? Nah, it's too blendy, I think. I need something different than what is already on here. So I've got a bit of denim right here, and I've also got some book spine. What would be better? Let's see. Let's check the book spine first. You know I do love a good piece of book spine. But does it do the job? Oh, it kind of does. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's put this denim away. And we'll just cut both ends of this fun book spine. Glue it down first. Okay. Yeah, I like that. It gives it kind of like a scrappy, you know, almost like a scarecrow Halloween kind of feel. All right, so we need some pages for those little booklets. Let me grab some paper. I'll be right back. All right, so I just got some really nice dyed paper that I've dyed in these purple hues. So I'm just going to fold in half. And then we'll get a general idea of how tall this can be. Go a little shorter. Okay. That. And then actually, why don't we also, before I tear it, we'll measure this way too. Okay. And then we can break that in half. Now we got 2 pages. And I'm going to do 4 in each. That's our fold side. Just kind of line up our fold side here. And I will reuse all those scraps for things. Don't worry. Okay. Oops, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's for this one. Yes. Will it also fit in this one? Yes. So we can use that still as a guide. So let's keep going. Just had to change my battery. Sorry for that little interruption. I'm just doing the same thing with the other 2 pages. Okay. One and 2. Then I know I've got some scraplets of stuff here hanging around, so I'm going to use that as my binding thread. Little books like this, you can actually just use the sewing machine too. If you want to, you could just stitch right down there, but I'll do the old-fashioned 3-needle binding. Why not? Or 3-hole binding. Why don't I always say 3-needle? I do it all the time. I think it's because like 3-needle bind off is a knitting term for when you're binding off a sock, and I always get that stuck in my head. Here we go. Back in through this hole. Make sure we're not stuck in the ply of this one here. There we go. Okay, Number 1 is done. So see, little booklet, super cute and fun, easy peasy. Then this one, same thing. Okay. I saw the cutest little red squirrel at the park yesterday when we were there. We don't see them in our area. We don't have the little red squirrels like close to where I live, but I love them. And so he was the cutest little precocious thing, because we were having a picnic and the kids had peanut butter and honey sandwiches, and I think he could smell the peanut butter, so he hung around most of the day. And then there were these actually rather annoying, I would say, preteen boys that came along. 3 of them, and they were eating a pizza, and I don't know what they were doing, but they were having all these weird like outbursts and things that, you know, preteens do. And one of the kids like threw a piece of pizza on the ground, which really super annoyed me. But, you know, I was waiting for them to leave, and I'm like, I'll put a glove on and pick it up and throw it in the trash. But I wasn't really paying attention because I was distracted with my family. And all of a sudden, the little squirrel picked up this whole slice of pizza and was eating it, and then ran off into the woods with it. And I'm like, oh Lord, this is why you don't throw food and garbage on the ground, and you don't feed wildlife, because it's not particularly great for a squirrel diet. But, you know, I'm sure he will survive, because animals eat, unfortunately, a lot of garbage. So there is that little booklet also. I love it. Yeah. There we go. Then we will move on to the next thing. So I think I would like to use this brittle piece of coloring book page. So I'm going to do a couple things while I pause you for a moment. I'm going to fussy cut these dolls. So the way that they work, let me explain before I do that. So essentially, you can easily fold on like the line in between them, just kind of keeping it straight. And now we can cut, oops, gotta go a little further on that one. You need to be a little not super precise, but a little precise if you can, folding that there, because we're going to glue these together, and then I'm going to cut the whole thing out. And see these holes right here? You cut out the legs, you do the same thing, fold it, cut them out, and then you put 2 brads through, and you have these moving legs, and you can sort of choose which legs you want to use. So I'll prep these dolls, and then I'm also going to cut out these and back them, so we'll have like 5 jack-o'-lanterns, I think. That will be more fun, I think, than this. And I will then come back and we'll continue working on this stuff. Okay, so I did the fussy cutting I told you I was going to do, and a little bit more. Okay, so I made I put together the 4 dolls, right, with the brads like I told you. So they're done. And I did back these jack-o'-lanterns. Now, they're on watercolor paper, which means I could paint them if I want to. I'm just going to finish cutting them out. I also went to those calendar pages and I cut out the edges. I fussy cut out like the pieces that I want to use from those edges of those calendar pages, and they're in a pile right here of bits and bobs. You see that? So we will play with those as well. Going to finish cutting out my jack-o'-lantern here. My daughter wants to crochet, and she has this skein of yarn that needs to be balled, so I started doing it, and then I was like, I gotta get back to what I'm trying to work on here. So I sent her upstairs to her dad to see if he can ball that skein of yarn. We'll see how it goes. So this is these little guys. We'll set them aside. Now, here's all those fussy cut bits. There's lots of goodies there. We'll play with those. Now I did cut out 1 pumpkin. You see this pumpkin? Because I want to turn this into something more specifically Halloween rather than the head of the the mushroom, the toadstool. So we'll take this pumpkin and we'll replace it on her head right here. Now we have an altogether more Halloween-y piece. All right, so then we can fussy cut this out. And that will be a fun little bit to use as well. Can probably just kind of guide my scissors under it a little because it's been cut out already and then backed on this paper. I have this whole set of paper dolls that I made from my own children, and it was a lot of fun. Okay. My husband is giving our dogs a bath and a toothbrush today. Okay. Almost there, almost there. I'm also really looking forward to fall fairs coming up. It's going to be that time soon. I want to try to hit lots of fall fairs this year. I love them so much. Some of my favorite parts are all of the the local, you know, kids art and that kind of stuff that you get to see. So much fun. I probably should start looking into how to enter things in the fair. I haven't done that before. I was always encouraged to do so, with my when I used to do a lot of knitting and crochet and yarn spinning and that kind of thing, but I've never really done that. But I understand it can be quite a good thing. It could be a fun thing to do. Okay, so then we have all these bits. Now, what's next? What do I want to make next? Let's look. So the other thing is I've got these leftover calendar pages that have just nothing really left on this side, but on the back there are some nice images and we don't want to waste that. So let's just tear out what we want to use here. I think I'll make something with this. Maybe a tag or something with these kids. You can't waste beautiful Victorian art like this. It's too pretty. Okay, there's one. All right, so we'll set that aside, and then I'll deal with this crazy piece of paper. So this one has cats all on the back here and roses. It's quite pretty, like they're having a cat tea party. And I think I might just tear this one in half. Okay. There's one out of the scraps. Okay. So these three are just kind of extra, not Halloween, but extra bits. So why don't we back them and make something quick with them, because that will be nice little bonus pieces for our final count of things that we make. Today's Tuesday 10 might be a little longer than normal. Probably driven hard by me not wanting to sort out my closet. But I have to. also need to hang up some shelves in my room, which I might try to do today, but I might have to go to the hardware store to get some anchors. Alright, so there's a simple little tag. That would be nice with some stitching and something like a tag topper of some kind. Straighten this one out. Okay, so this one is glued down. Let's turn that one into a tag as well. Okay, set that aside. Then let's grab this piece of old yarn label paper here. It's a nice thick cardstock paper, so we'll use it for this journal card. I'm going to cut this out as is, and then I'm going to straighten it up on my paper cutter here. So I know it's a little crooked. I'm thinking about maybe adding like a little, one of these little black roses down here, and then I'll ink it up so that it matches the color a little better. Okay. There we go. It's not so stark. And I'll probably put some words here eventually, but I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. I think that's good. Okay, then I think what I would like to try doing with this is, let's use some of this scrap first on just this book page. So I'll just cover this book page with glue. This is just my glue book, and I'm just using it as kind of a base shape for gluing some of these purple strips down from those booklets that we made. Reuse those up. Okay, oops. There we go. And don't worry if there's a little text showing through, that's fine. Because what I now want to do is go again over the whole top of this thing with glue. Oops. And this is where we're going to use some of this tissue that I have. So there's a decent amount of white in this tissue, so it does kind of cause you to lose that purple, but that's okay. At this point, we're just kind of using up scraps, right? Let me just cut that out real quick. And we'll flatten this down and then cut it out to give us a guide again to the shape that we might want to use. I'm going to follow the text up here to just cut this down to be a little thinner. I actually might do that on both sides. Good, good, good. Okay, now we have this. And I think I'll use this on there. So we'll glue that with our glitter glue. Okay. Glue this down. All right, so that's glued down. Now I'll just snip off the excess bits here. Okay. Then we will back this first before we go too much further, just to make it a little more stable. Right, then I'm going to use my circle punch to create a different kind of tag shape with this one. Like that. Then we need some words, so I'll get again the words here. This is my costume. Trick or treat. Smell my feet. That's a good one. Let's do that. And again, these are words from Release the Craftin'. You know, it could be a lot of fun to do these kind of things as memories of your kids in their Halloween costumes. If you do like holiday type scrapbooks or journals, you could do that kind of thing. Okay, that's super fun. That's that one. Now, I think next I'm going to try to use this. I'm going to fold up the rest of this paper. I'll probably use it in a project here or whatnot. So I think what I was thinking with this was that like the top I don't really need because I really want to make like pockets out of the bottom. So we'll cut this away. Yeah, I don't need that. Then I'm just going to grab a piece of folder. And we will glue this down. Okay, so what I want to do with this is make like freeform pockets in the shape of all this stuff here. I'm just going to leave like a little bit of space around because this one's going to come up. And we'll go around this plant. So we'll just kind of freeform cut out this whole kind of tablescape. Remember learning the term tablescape when I was in the US watching like the old DIY network with my husband on like US cable, like when they used to have that. I don't know if they still have that DIY network. That had such glorious possibility, but they just turned it into a weird like HGTV type channel. But there used to be some really great programming on it. But Tablescape was like from this show called Semi Homemade with Sandra Lee, I think. And like it was where she used a lot of things like boxed cake mixes, but then she would add something homemade to it, like say strawberries. And I just used to laugh. It was such a funny show. I used to watch all sorts of weird programming on that channel. But then like Vicky, what's her last name? She had like a knitting show, and then there was like this woman named Sandy Genovese that had either a scrapbooking or a jewelry show. I can't remember. It was just different like craft shows, you know. So those are two really fun pockets. Yeah, but I don't think that network exists anymore. If it does, it's like formidably different, kind of like how A&E is not arts and entertainment. TLC is the furthest thing from learning or teaching anything nowadays, but like how to be fully not functional in society. I don't know. It's a little disturbing. Okay. So now, you know, we're going to have a lot of pockets to make. I'm trying to decide. I think I might leave these black and white. I quite like them. I thought about watercolor painting them, but I might just leave them because I think if I put them in a journal and you wanted to color them in yourself, you could. So I think I'll leave them. Now, I've got this stuff. Now, I think a lot of it I can use for different freeform shaped things. Like these, I want to use as belly bands. So I'm just going to literally glue them down. We'll see how many of those kind of things we have. We'll just fill this page up with glue down things. There was one, yeah, and that one would be like a great pocket. So don't discount picking up calendars when you're searching for things for junk journaling, because like you can find all sorts of things, because often there can be a seasonal theme, right? If it's not like a calendar just about something like, you know, dogs or cats or something, it's like if it's something seasonal, like this one was just Victorian art, and you know, October usually has Halloween stuff. Sometimes it's got just like harvests type stuff, but I got quite a few good pages out of these. And then it will always have stuff like Christmas, because like, you know, it always gets the focus in December, of course, or Easter, Valentine's Day, all sorts of different themes in these kind of calendars. And it's nice to keep around for like any holidays that you like to create journals during. I don't always create like seasonal holiday journals, but I usually do Halloween, and this year I'm going to do some Christmas, I think, just because I want to. I didn't do Christmas, I don't think, at all really last year. I might have done the spooky Christmas, because Release the Crafton has a really great spooky kit for Christmas that I enjoyed. And then I think I even made my own kit for that too. For a short time, it was around. I've started to move some of my kits off Etsy. If you're looking for a kit that you don't see on Etsy, I'm moving them to, like after they've been on Etsy for a while, like, you know, the typical Etsy interest in some things will kind of wane, especially if it's seasonal. So then when I take it off Etsy, I actually move it to two other places that you could pick it up. One is on Ko-fi, and the other is on Patreon. And typically I've lowered the price for it a little bit too, because I don't have those Etsy fees to worry about. So yeah, if you are looking at my kits and you don't see one on my Etsy shop that you remember and you're like, oh no, I missed out on that one, don't worry, it's probably still available. And if there's ever one that you're looking for and you can't find it, just reach out to me. People often do that because they may have left something in their cart and then, a few months later I've taken it off. You just have to be a little careful when you have an Etsy shop because, it's like anything you don't pay attention to, right? It continues to take fees from you. So you got to sort of watch if it's worthwhile to keep your kits up. I like to kind of keep, there's quite a few that I'll never really take down until they're not selling at all anymore, because I think they will always be something that people will want to use in a generic way, like my my watercolor swatches and a lot of my art doll critters and that kind of thing. I think people just like to use those for anything, so there's no seasonal kind of time for those. And as long as they still sell, I will keep them there. But I like to have options in terms of creating an archive too. I'm just going to cut around this little owl. I want to get that red and green out of there. It's not my favorite thing for Halloween. Red and green. There we go. Belly band or side tuck. So I've been trying to think about how I want to replan my time a little bit, because I've been going into my office and I might try one more day per week. I don't know. I may keep it to one though. I'm trying to decide. So that changes up like how I can manage my time because of the commute and traffic. So I'm thinking about making Sundays like half and half, like prep days where I do a lot of baking for kids, things in their lunches, because I want to try not to buy so much commercially made stuff for lunches this year. So I'm going to do things like baking muffins and little squares and little cheese, biscuits and things that the kids would like to have in their lunches. And then also doing I keep these containers in my fridge. I don't know if you ever experienced Tupperware like in like the 80s and 90s, but I think in the 90s they created this. It's like a veggie tray with a container in the middle. It's round and it has a container in the middle with a lid, so it's like you put your dip in the middle and your veggies all around. So I have 2 of those that I thrifted, and I keep them in my fridge, and one is full of veggies and one is full of fruit. And then I also keep like cut up cheese and that kind of thing, so I can just quickly fill the kids' bento box lunches in the morning with like different things, and it kind of makes my mornings a little bit easier when it's hectic and I got to get the kids ready. So now let's use these fun paper dolls. Now, I obviously have lots of options. I was thinking of just maybe like keeping a couple of them, and I might do that, like maybe 1, 2, 3 or 2. Let's do 2. We'll keep 2 just as is. These are just paper dolls to go in the book. But the other 2, let's make something with them. So I think we could do a fun little collage with this piece. Let's just turn this into a pocket shape. Just this leftover folder. It's already got a cute shape to it. Then glue, glue, glue. I'll use more of my purple strips here as the background. Okay. A little more glue here. Here we go. I have no idea how long this video is because I've been interrupted so many times by my children. So I apologize if it gets very long. So this will go like this. I think I would put her like here. Then, what do I have with these little bits? I don't want another person. I've got a cat. A couple of cats. What's this? This is, yeah, we have mostly just cats. Feels like a Halloween bucket. We could draw it like a Halloween bucket. So I think what I want to do with her is, where's my, there it is. I like the kind of shape that she adds to things. So I'm just going to actually staple her on in a couple places here, like so that she maintains like her movement. Then I'm going to take the little cat here, and I'll use art glitter glue to just make sure that's fully stuck down. My kids are being wild upstairs. I don't know. And we'll put that kind of here. All right, and then her hand is there, so we're going to turn that into a Halloween bucket. I might just do a little one, two, three. Okay, so I've got this little I believe in Halloween. I think I would like to use that on there, and then I might even pop this little cat behind it. Yeah, it's kind of cute. So I'm just going to trim the little white bits off here. Give it a little bit nicer shaping. Okay. And I think these kind of things will go so cute with like the Halloween children's storybooks that, like, you know, these things will add to the cute dialogue that we're going to create. Oops, I have a little yarn fluffy right there. I see that. My daughter was trying to crochet down here a little bit ago, and I had to wind a ball of yarn for her. Oh, the behind the scenes that you guys don't get to see. The 80 million things that go on. Okay, so yeah, I like that. I probably will do a little real stitching around it, but I think we just have this one more to go, right? I think, yeah. So this one, I remember I had this scrap left over from, I cut out of that book, and I like this. I think that would be cute. Let's do something with this. So we'll cut it down. Maybe we'll make it into like a belly band. Yeah, let's do that. Good. Cut this out. Okay. And then I'm going to just put glue right up the center here and on this one side, but I'm not going to glue the other side. And why? Because I want to just do this. I want to cover this piece that doesn't really make sense, like so. So that will stick out the back a bit. And that's totally okay because we're going to make a belly band with this. Okay. So that is that. All right, let me do some stitching. These bits are going to remain in my Halloween like supplies that I have for the Halloween journals. So they'll get glued down to different things. I'm not going to stress about those. Let me go do some stitching, come back and show you everything we made. Okay, friends, we made 23 things today, so I'm including these two collections as one. So this little collection of jack-o'-lanterns that are little journal cards. They could be used for pockets, anything. They could be painted or colored. And then a little collection of Halloween-themed tabs that are those fabric ones. Then this belly band. Then this non-Halloween cat tag, I just stitched around it and added some fabric up top. This one I also stitched around, added fabric on top. Then our little witch journal card, added some fabric up here too with stars on it. And then the other non-Halloween cat tab, I added a little silk flower and some lace up there, stitched it. Stitched around our pocket here with our little paper doll. Trick or treat, smell my feet, got stitched around. Those two pockets that we cut from that book page and our little envelope here. Then the two booklets, fun little scrappy booklets. Two little October labels. Two of the paper dolls that are just loose. And then this pocket, side tuck, belly band, pocket, pocket. All those from the little cutouts from the calendar. So that's a nice little collection of Halloween-y bits. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. I think we did pretty good today. So I will talk to you all again soon. Again, my apologies if this video is long. It's a little hard when I get interrupted by the kiddos to like understand how much time I've spent here. So that being said, I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.